Well, hi, and thank you so much for joining me here in my shop to keep me company while I work on this receiver. Today is August 6th. And so at the end of the last video, I had determined that one of the big capacitors through which all the speaker power flows to get to the speaker, one of those capacitors had gone defective. A total zero capacitor. So I believe what happened is an internal fault happened separating the terminal on the capacitor from the capacitor parts inside. So one of these terminals just goes nowhere. That's what I think. So this capacitor is out. I've installed this one here as a replacement. I tried to find a good spot to put it. So I've left the old one in, but it's disconnected. There's a number of wires coming to one of the terminals up here and a capacitor and that. So what I did in this case is, rather than try to rewire all the wires down to here, I just cut this terminal free from the old capacitor. I just got up there with a pair of cutters, cut it free, and then extended a wire down to here to the new capacitor. Along the way, I had to replace this little capacitor. This one was tucked up in here. The replacement for it is sitting down here now. That's what I've done. So now it's time to test the this capacitor, which I took out from the leads being yanked this way. It's got a crack right through the shell here, and on this side too. Probably really common with these kind of capacitors. Okay, but I don't think there's anything really wrong with this. And by the way, running the audio signal through a capacitor, well, like a big electrolytic capacitor like this, these capacitors are polarized, but the speaker signal is not. It's an AC signal. So how do they do that? So either this is biased in this radio in some way that I'm just not aware of because I haven't looked, or instead of using a standard type of capacitor, they use one of these special ones here like this. So this is called a non-polar capacitor. If you look, both ends look the same. It's electrolytic, but both ends look the same. I believe what's in here is really two capacitors in series inside here somehow. And so they can present the positive terminal or negative, whatever it is, at both ends, because they have the other terminals tied together inside. I think that's how they work. Here's another one. 200 microfarads, 100 volts. NP, non-polarized. So that's usually what you find here. Not in this case, and it's just possible that they have forsaken the polarization of the capacitor and they're just running it regardless. I don't know. So now what are we going to do? So we think now we have a good working record player and a good working receiver or Dewey. Maybe the first thing is to find out now how well the receiver actually works. I have no reason to think there's anything wrong with it other than it's a little old, but then I'm a little old. There's nothing wrong with me. And maybe the same is true for this guy. I'm just cleaning up a little bit here before hitting the power. And that's the power for the record player. No power record player just now. Two speakers still connected. There's not much to see here. Let's spin this around. Okay, I'm going to put this switch here. This is the on-off switch. Let me get the panel up here just to make sure I've got it right. AC on. Speakers off over this way, but straight out on this lower switch is both speakers on. Balance, treble, bass, volume. So balance and volume are on the outside. Contour. Contour. What are you contouring? Well, this is contour and simultan. I don't really know what a contour button does, but I'm going to guess it's just some kind of tone, preset tone control. switches out now. Okay, what were these? These were AM, FM, and the like. You know, if I'm clever enough to just put this faceplate over here, I can look over at it. So we're on the AM radio, neutral here, neutral here. We go like that. It's mono. Never tried that when I was troubleshooting the radio. Okay, we're all set. Here we go. Volume down. Power on. Power on. I can hear a hum. These are some relatively small speakers we're listening to. There's nothing big about that little speaker back there. And yet I hear a hum. So you'd have to give it 95% for sure. If you put this on big speakers, the hum would be annoying. Okay, lots of volume. Both channels working. Okay, I'm going to fiddle with some switches here. Well, speakers off. Speakers back on. Speakers reverse. Could be the balance isn't quite right on it, because it certainly is moving the volume back and forth. Tone. More bass. Less bass. More treble. Less treble. Balance. It's all the way over here. Almost all the way over here. All the way over there. Roughly in the middle. Now, because the capacitors in here are different now, it's not two identical ones, it's this one and another one. The output could be a little different. Maybe the balance control has to be a little off all the time now. Okay, we have some more switches here. External speakers. Now, what's going on there? Well, why is that making a difference? I have no external speakers connected. Something funny going on with the switch. Now, I may have the polarization of the speakers wrong. So I'm listening to the hiss. To me, the hiss is coming right from the center here. So I got the polarization of the speakers correct. But when I flip this switch, I'm sure I'm hearing both speakers now. Very strange. Okay, I notice this indicator's way over. Let's tune a little bit. AM tuning's here. This meter's moving. Is right around here. 640, 590 are the two stations I stand the best chance of getting. I think there's a station right there. You can hear someone talking. Try the antenna direction. Okay. So the funny sounds are interference sounds here in my shop. So one station barely heard. Okay, so the antenna on this is located over here. I don't know if I can turn this far enough to get there. It's in behind here. Lots of metal around it. Well, it's definitely active. Okay, not a very good result. Now we got to put an FM antenna on here. I've got the antenna to beat all. I gotta go get my. Where's it in here? Here it is. There we go. Man alive. Now we're really gonna try something exciting here with the Archer Golden Eagle. Hold on to the end of the wire so it doesn't find its way. Yeah, sit right in there. That's a good spot for an FM antenna, for sure. Okay, we're going to hook this guy up to the FM antenna. Goes here. Bad connection there, I think. That's the AM. That's why we heard that. Come on, get on there. Now most of these consoles have a built-in FM antenna. Simple antenna, but you know it's been cut and built specifically for this radio, so it should be okay, except you can't aim it anywhere without turning the entire console around, which is a big problem. Okay, so we're going to go to FM now. So I see the meter drop to the center. Very, very quiet.
34.
Oh my gosh.
I'm Michelle Shepard, and this is Brainwashed. Episode 4, Suing the CIA.
This is a great show. We should listen to this show.
Jim, why don't I just start by having you introduce yourself and tell me who you are?
Yeah, I'm Jim Turner. I'm a retired lawyer who represented 9 Canadians in a lawsuit against the United States government based on unwitting experimental brainwashing procedures that they were subject.
Jim Turner was the junior attorney on the case against the CIA. He worked alongside legendary American civil rights lawyer Joseph Rao. Rao had represented writers.
As much as I'd love to listen to this, because I've listened to a couple episodes of it, this is about an unbelievable story. I'd heard bits and pieces of this throughout my life, but this goes into great detail of CIA-sponsored experiments done in a Montreal hospital, psychiatric hospital, by one of Canada's leading psychiatric doctors, and this to be back in the 60s. And this included things which were so outrageous, and people who went through the experiments with this doctor were people with mild mental illnesses who were seeking assistance, like depression or something like that, and seeking assistance from this doctor. And he'd end up performing these experiments on them. One of them was putting a person in a box for 30 days, completely devoid of stimulation, while giving them drugs, psychoactive drugs. But this person was interviewed on this show. He's alive today. He's still around, and he's able to talk about what happened to him. Oh my God. And just unbelievable. This doctor was getting accolades at every turn, people almost bowing down to him. He was such a highly regarded doctor. Meanwhile, he's performing these experiments being done on behalf of the CIA. They wanted to find out about brainwashing. One of his things was to give people psychoactive drugs and also electroshock therapy Most people get electroshock therapy, get a mild shock 3-4 times, and their depression is magically wiped away. In this case, people were getting shocked 50 times with a heady current to the point where they turned into babies again. Babies couldn't. It had to be taught. It had to be toilet trained again. Can you believe it? This happened in Canada in the 60s. I believe it was the late 50s, 60s, maybe up to the late 60s or something like that. Unbelievable horror story. The stuff that you would expect to see on a movie screen about a fiction story about, stuff gone wild. No, it's real. I don't know how many patients were involved. 100, ultimately, something like that, some number like that. I don't know. I don't know the exact number. Okay. Yeah, wow, that really set me off. Let's hear some more. Now you know what they're talking about, so I'll leave it playing while we do what?
Describe that, and I needed someone to help me. And in a sense, he became almost a, not a pseudo-father per se, but a mentor, someone who could say,
who knows what he's talking about. These are long episodes, half hour long or something like that. Okay, so FM working, AM working. Now what about the stereo deal? So there's a light sitting right here, and the light has not come on. And the station we're tuned to right now is a mono station. Believe it or not, CBC Canada is a mono signal everywhere. I don't know if they do stereo anywhere. Isn't that odd? It's all mono. Could be because it used to be AM and FM, and the CBC was, on 100 AM stations, and you can't do anything with stereo. So maybe, I don't know. So we can't get this light to come on listening to this station.
From the date that we filed this suit in December of 1980, there has been a studied strategy, in my estimation, of delaying and stonewalling every step in the litigation so that the elderly and frail plaintiffs will just disappear.
A landmark case in which the Canadian plaintiffs charged the Central Intelligence Agency with a reckless disregard for their lives. Now, the agency has won yet another delay. The Canadian's lawyer accused the CIA of deliberately stalling.
We had some bad luck.
Okay, let's see if we get the light to come on. Should be a strong station 95.7. Where'd they all go? So we're having problems with signal strength. That's just not strong enough, and it could be again antenna direction. My antenna. Oh yes, that's right, the fantastic antenna here. Let me raise its fantasticness. We'll get some color eagle signal coming in here. Okay, is that better? A little bit. Now, these older radios do not have automatic frequency control. AFC. Oh, there's a button here. AFC. Okay, this one does. In the early days, you could switch it on and off. It's going to make any difference. Let's tune something in here.
Southbound around basic through a police investigation ongoing and will be closed for closing.
Weak signal.
It's going to be slow moving and with traffic starting to fill.
No, stronger signal.
Please don't shout, I think you'll make it out. I think you'll
So I'm watching this meter. The meter's not active at all. It should be swinging back and forth. It's a pretty crummy reception too. Anybody see I just risked my life there? I went like this. Grabbed this antenna, and then I touched this. Risked my life on that. small risk. Well,
There is no anybody in the
no light.
Doesn't it?
Okay, here, kind of clear but weak. Stronger, but what I'm trying to do is convince myself that alignment is a valuable exercise to go through or not.
Everything's better on a Friday. The temperature is going to soar to mid-30s, but then we
Mid-30s. Okay, enough on the radio. Now we're going to try playing a record. Just to verify that that works, we'll switch this on to Phono. So Phono would be like this. That's Phono. Oh wait, we haven't finished with the stereo. Yeah, let's go back and finish with the stereo. So maybe the light bulb's burned out. Let's find out. I'm going to cut the power just while we do this. For some reason. There's no filament in this bulb. Oh, wait a minute. No, she's blown open. She's a blown. Okay, so this is a what? A 47. 47 is a very, very common light in the older radios. Okay, we'll stick a nice new 47 in there. It's nice and new. It's nice and new. Okay, got it in. Power on again. Hey, what do we got? That can't be a stereo light. It's just a dash light. It ain't no stereo light. I've never seen a stereo light 6 volts anyway. Have I ever seen one like that? It's definitely not a stereo light. So this is quite mysterious here. It's lighting up this strange symbol, which I don't know what it means. Can't quite get this on here. So the light from this light is cast into this. Ooh, you're way over there. Way over there, man. Come over here. The light bulb shines directly into this gap here, and then the light will be conducted down through the plastic like a fiber optic, if you like, and then it should make these numbers just glow. They should just stand right out. Well, now that the light works, it will. I thought I saw another light in here. I did see another light. There's a light under here. Okay, that's the stereo light, maybe. Down under here. Okay, let's take that one out. Let's take this one out. This is a 49. I don't know if I have a 49. And $10 says it's burned out yet. Oh, wait a minute. No. This is good. That's interesting. I'm going to show you that. Oh, I can't. I don't have a close enough camera. So usually the filament is a spring. If you look at it really, really closely. And sometimes if you get it under like a microscope, you'll find out the spring is a spring too. It's a spring of a spring. Is that much in these little things. If this looks like a straight piece of wire. Let's test it with an ohm meter. 49. You know what? I'm going to find out what the deal is with a 49. A 49 light bulb. And what I mean by that is what kind of current it draws. So just I'm just going to do this on my own here. Miniature lamp 49. And the answer is, very quickly you can find the current. So a number 49 miniature bulb is a 2 volt, looks like it says 0.06 amp. Very, very low current. So that explains what they're doing here. They're doing the light using a very sensitive light bulb, doing the stereo light. A very sensitive light bulb. I'm sure I don't have any of these. Okay. There we go. 2 volts, 0.06 amps. Well, we're going to test it, right? Test it and see. Pretty sure I can't do it any harm with my voltmeter here. Because a voltmeter does deliver a sensing current. Okay, testing the meter. Testing the bulb. Bulb is good. That's good because I don't have a replacement or anything that would go in there easily. That's good. Okay, we'll put that back in. 49. Now, was it going on and off? And because when I'm standing here from my angle, I can't even see that there's a light bulb there, let alone whether it's on. So maybe it was going on and off, and I just didn't see it. And then that how's this work? So this is right in line with these things. Yeah, definitely. That light is this. This is the stereo indicator. Why the heck? Why not a big S there or something? Look, what is that? What is that supposed to be? A corner of, I don't know, corner of a box? I don't know what that is. Very odd symbol. Okay, ready for another test? This time I will look at the correct light bulb. Okay, power on. I am now watching the other light bulb here. Can you see it? You can see it. Good old Neil Young.
Interview government.
Okay, that's mono. Well, we can't make it come on with a station. This meter's also not moving. It's two similar things going on. I think they're probably related in some way. There's that strange tuning thing again. It seems to be.
We're playing.
Yeah, I don't think it's right. Okay, now we'll go on and do the turntable. So to do the turntable, power off. Plug the turntable power back in. Let's getting a little crowded on the bench here. I'm going to take a minute and just lighten the load here. Too much stuff to look at. Okay, we're going to bring the knocked this off by accident earlier. Okay, add power. Power switch is off. Power in, audio in. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to turn the power off on this, so the power is off. This should power on when this is switched on. That's the way it's supposed to work. Let's have a little bit of a higher view of things here. Okay. And the volume is, oop, that's tuning. Volume is up a bit. Crossing fingers now. Lots of stuff should happen here. Power is on. Nothing should happen. Switching on. And we're definitely switched to phono over here. No, we're not. We're not. Well, that's kind of weird. So you can switch this switch to phono and have this one switch to FM at the same time. Seems a little odd, but I have the radio switch in the neutral position. So phono only, here we go. Come on, man. Oh, I almost forgot to take it. Let her rip. You can hear the cartridge through the speakers. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit. Okay, coming down. Lots of volume. Lots of scratches. Okay, I don't want to get a copyright hit. Let's use the proper stuff. What's that ticking? That sounds like the idle, the intermediate wheel again. Very slow. It's not good at all. So it's having trouble setting down. The damping is so slow that when it gets down to the top of the record, and the record is a little bit warped, it starts hitting the high points, but then it's got no weight, you know, to settle down lower. So when it got down there, it really had trouble settling down, getting the weight onto it, getting the, what do we got? It's definitely stereo, it's definitely both speakers. It's definitely a really poor guitar playing there, and that's really nothing too exciting about that. How about this? Woodstock, somebody. Da-da-da. And the last little bit of Woodstock music here. Doesn't want to follow the groove in. Okay, a couple problems that could be causing that. One is ridiculously light cartridge. It's ridiculously light. Okay, so we'll do the Tonearm Setup deal here. So first we want to set this to 0. Hey, I can't get it to 0. 0. Oh, that's the indicator down there. I thought the indicator was up here. So this was set to like 1 gram or something. They're really too light. Okay, now we want to set the counterbalance. So you bring this over, and we'll let go of it, and it should float. It should just kind of float around. We'll back this up, back it up, back it up. Getting close now. Okay, so it's kind of floaty there. Now we turn this up to where it should be. Cartridge like this should be around 3 anyway. Much, much heavier than it was. I mean, it was really floaty before. So I think these cartridges could go even heavier. 3 is probably fine. Okay, let's try again. We'll try the whole thing again because we are trying to repair this. Need to exercise it. There you go. Such a slow starting song is a bad record to test with. Oh, I guess I have the volume down. Yeah. So very, very crackly can mean the record itself is a mess. Or the needle is actually worn out. I don't know if, did I really check the needle on here carefully? The needle, if it's worn out, instead of riding deep down in the groove, it'll kind of ride a little higher. And that's where the scratches are. The scratches are on the top of the groove, right? They're not down in the valley. Down in the valley and on the sides of the groove is where you want the needle to be doing its thing. But if it gets fatter, it's going to ride higher. They're fatter, higher. And up here is where all the egregious stuff has happened over the years to your record. So a sharper needle makes for a quieter record. This has got lots of crap on it here. Let's give it a go. This song is Butterfield Blues Band.
Tell you about it. I'm gonna let Gene tell you.
No, we can't let Gene tell you about it. Okay, so bottom line is this is working well. Needle needs to be looked at. Channels working, everything working. Ton of volume, loads of volume coming out of it, which is pretty good. Tonal quality may not be the best. These record players normally don't have great cartridges on them. This one has a balanced tone arm, so you should be able to put a better cartridge on here. It still is a ceramic cartridge. So, you know, there's a bit of a limitation there, I believe, too. You can only get so good with a ceramic cartridge. So, all in all, what is left to do? Check the needle on the record player, and then look at the FM reception, which I think is very important. AM reception, not so important. FM reception, very important. And we should take a look at cleaning it up somehow. I don't know how that would be done offhand. Actually, I do know something that can be done. And so that'll be tomorrow, I think. It's another nice day. Tomorrow the weather's not going to be so good. I'll be in the shop. Be happy to be in the shop. Going to go out now and enjoy the good weather. And that's right. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching. And tune in again tomorrow. Do you actually tune? You don't tune.